onto part 6 of the crochet along then, and we are going with a royal ridge stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and attach my next colour of yarn. You can do this in whichever way you prefer. Okay, and then we're going to work half double crochets into each stitch. So I'll just refresh it on the half double crochet then. Yarn over, insert your hook, grab your yarn. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. So once again, yarn over, insert your hook, grab your yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert your hook, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. And you're going to continue that along with the length of the row. Once you reach the end of the row then, just work those last 2. Make sure to catch that final stitch, otherwise your work will go wavy at either side. You then want to chain 1 and turn your work. We're then going to work into the 3rd loop. Now previously we've always worked into the top of the stitch, which is where the V shape is. I'm just showing you there, slightly off camera, just where the V is. But this time we're actually going to work into the 3rd loop. So it's that one that's like a diagonal stitch that's just underneath the V. We want to work into that one there that I'm just showing you. So we're going to work half trebles again into that diagonal 3rd loop. Okay. So we're working half trebles into the 3rd loop. So this little diagonal stitch, just a reminder that not the V stitch at the top, but the little diagonal thread that runs just underneath, that's created when we make the half treble. So we're working into that one. Okay, as you work, you will find that it turns your work slightly and moves the stitch that we would normally work into round to the back. That's what we want, that's the desired effect. So it does make it easier to work the further along the row that you go, but just remember not to work into the top of the stitch. We're working into that 3rd loop. So we work into that 3rd loop throughout the row. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit because I'm conscious that people might be thinking, well, where exactly is this 3rd loop? So you can see at the top you've got the little V, and then just underneath there's this little diagonal line, and that's what you're working into just there. So not the V, the little 3rd loop that's just underneath it. You're just working your half trebles all the way along that row. So we're at the other end then, and we've just got a couple more to do. Once you get to this end, it has pretty much fully folded over, so it is easier to see the 3rd loop. Just remember to catch that last one. If you're not sure, you can, if it's the right one, you can just turn it and see, have I got a V there? Yes, I have. So that must be the 3rd loop that I'm needing to work into. Okay, and then you want to chain 1 and turn your work. Just showing you here, this is the effect that we're creating. It pushes the top of the stitch round to the front of your work, or the back, depending on which direction you're working. And it'll do the same with this row, but that will obviously go towards the back as you work it. And it creates a lovely ridged pattern. So once again, we're working into the 3rd loop with our half trebles. I'm just going to work a few here so that I can show you the effect that's achieved. I just split my yarn slightly there, so I was redoing that one. So we're just working a half treble into the third loop. It's a nice, quick, easy stitch, this one, but it does create quite a nice texture and visually quite pleasing to look at. So you would continue that along the row. And you can see here that it's pushing out that ridge on the other side of your work. So you want to go ahead and work your half trebles across the row, working always into the third loop for this section, and you continue with that until you've reached your desired length. And that's it for this stitch. There will be another one landing in the group on Monday. Have a lovely weekend.